New rule, no more calling the French cheese-eating surrender monkeys. A French senator just fired off a cannon at Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Welcome back to Occupied Democrats. I'm David Reddish. The fallout over Donald Trump's meeting last week with Volodymyr Zelensky continues as the allies of Ukraine and Europe continue to develop a path forward for aiding the nation without the assistance of the United States. Keep in mind, of course, that Ukraine's allies in Europe are the allies of the United States, or were until Donald Trump decided we didn't need allies anymore. Among those key nations, France, where Trump and Musk have already earned wide ridicule. More on that in a moment. Last week, of course, French President Emmanuel Macron visited the White House where he corrected Trump during an Oval Office press conference. Did you catch this?
Will France support the U.S. being compensated?
I support the idea to have Ukraine first being compensated because they are the one to have lose a lot of their fellow citizens and being destroyed by these attacks. Second, all of those who paid for could be compensated, but not by Ukraine, by Russia, because they were the one to aggress.
Again, just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid. We paid 60% of the total effort, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear. We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day and Russia would have paid for that.
If you believe that, it's okay with me.
Mr. President,
but they get their money back, we don't, and now we do. But that's only fair.
Mr. President, do you think Russia should be the one that pays everybody back? Are they the aggressors?
Well, we're negotiating everything, and everything's on the table, and we'll see if we can get some land back, and we'll see about a lot of different things. And we're going to be making a little speech and say a few words in a little while. We're going to have another meeting, a luncheon meeting, and we'll see you in about 2 hours. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Trump also gushed about the beauty of a French accent in that same meeting. Priorities. That was, of course, before the disastrous meeting with Zelensky on Friday. Now the mood has changed in France and become much more explosive. At this point, I think it's important to remember, France is the oldest ally of the United States. Britain may be considered a closer ally today, but that was not always the case. The Statue of Liberty itself was a gift from France. France came to the aid of the colonies, lending money and supplies in the revolution against Britain. In that context, it's ironic that Trump has adopted his pro-Russia stance with Ukraine. Nobody should know better than the United States about the importance of allies when encroached upon by an imperialist power. The French have not forgotten that value. Speaking in the French legislature today, French Senator Claude Malhert delivered an incinerating takedown of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And in no uncertain terms. Have a look.
Washington est devenu la cour de Néron, un empereur incendiaire, des courtisans soumis et un bouffon sous kétamine chargé de l'épuration de la fonction publique. C'est un drame pour le monde libre, mais c'est d'abord un drame pour les États-Unis. Le message de Trump est que rien ne sert d'être son allié puisqu'il ne vous défendra pas, qu'il vous imposera plus de droits de douane qu'à ses ennemis et vous menacera de s'emparer de vos territoires tout en soutenant les dictatures qui vous envahissent. Le roi du deal est en train de montrer ce qu'est l'art du deal à plat ventre. Il pense qu'il va intimider la Chine en se couchant devant Poutine, mais Xi Jinping, devant un tel naufrage, est sans doute en train d'accélérer les préparatifs de l'invasion de Taïwan. Jamais dans l'histoire, un président des États-Unis n'a capitulé devant l'ennemi. Jamais aucun n'a soutenu un agresseur contre un allié. Jamais aucun n'a piétiné la Constitution américaine, pris autant de décrets illégaux, révoqué les juges qui pourraient l'en empêcher, limogé d'un coup l'état-major militaire, affaibli tous les contre-pouvoirs et pris le contrôle des réseaux sociaux. Ce n'est pas une dérive illibérale, c'est un début de confiscation de la démocratie. Rappelons-nous qu'il n'a fallu qu'1 mois, 3 semaines et 2 jours pour mettre à bas la République de Weimar et sa Constitution. J'ai confiance dans la solidité de la démocratie américaine et le pays proteste déjà. Mais en 1 mois, Trump a fait plus de mal à l'Amérique qu'en 4 ans de sa dernière présidence. Nous étions en guerre contre un dictateur, nous nous battons désormais contre un dictateur soutenu par un traître.
For anyone unfamiliar, Nero was a fabled Roman emperor so inept, fat, lazy, dumb, and stupid he's said to have played the fiddle while barbarians torched Rome. That story is apocryphal, but what we do know of Nero in history portrays him as a profligate spender who bankrupted the provinces of Rome. When the city of Rome did have a great fire, Nero chose to blame a controversial minority for the incident: Christians. He retaliated by demonizing and torturing them. Donald Trump may want to study Nero a bit himself, particularly how the emperor's life came to an end. Their provinces overtaxed and ruined, Roman governors and the Senate revolted. He was eventually deposed and killed by one of his closest companions. That was after he was too weak to commit suicide. Senator Malhert here is issuing an historical warning to Trump, but more importantly, to the rest of the world. The United States needs to maintain a place of leadership in the world, not just to fulfill our promises to our allies and to protect our international interests, but to help protect ourselves from the abuses of dictators like Putin or Xi. And Malhert is also right, and it's time for American politicians to call this out. Trump is a traitor. He's a traitor to America's allies. He's a traitor to the Constitution, and he is, foremost, a traitor to the American people, especially those poor fools who voted for him. But it's not too late yet. Stand with the protesters. Encourage your representatives to push back against Trump regardless of their party affiliation. It's not too late to stop the mad emperor before he burns down our nation. God bless America, and vive la France. This is Occupy Democrats.